Welcome back to Stationeers. We're still on Venus, and as you can see, I've gone ahead and expanded the garden a little bit. We are we're doing pretty good for oxygen, and I even have plenty to breathe in my canister, so great. I've also gone ahead and installed another filtration unit to capture CO2 for my jetpack, because I was getting mighty low, and I thought, well, you know what, we have a lot more CO2 available to us on Venus than we do nitrogen. Might as well use up the CO2 instead. So yeah, of course we're growing our potatoes like gangbusters, got plenty of seeds, still have my emergency backup cereal bars, non-boneless of course, and stuff is just cluttered all over the place, so perfect. Okay, we have plenty of seeds. Before I cycle the airlock, I probably should put my suit on. Yes, and how are my stats? Stats are fine. Helmet is closed. Let's go for it. Right, how are we doing for power? Oh, well, actually, these are doing pretty good because I went ahead and printed out a little bit more stuff. I've gone ahead and re-piped this to where now that tank up there is topped off at 30 megapascals. And that is going to feed into here at 40 megapascals. I could probably turn that down, but why not? I'm trying to force feed as much as I can in here for mass, because we're going to need all the help we can get getting enough cooling going. Some of the degassed ores that I had, I just wanted to go ahead and get smelted, but right now, we're not doing too bad for cool, breathable gas. So that goes all the way to... yeah, that pipes all the way to the survival room, where we have our garden going. And I do have the cutoff here, just in case I need to push more gas in to cool it down. When I'm not needing to cool it down, though, I'm just go ahead and turn that off to save a little bit of power. That's going to continue to cool that down, and so on and so forth. So not a wasted effort, just inefficient, but that's fine. I still have not moved the furnace yet because, well, I'm lazy. I just didn't get to it. But what I have done is I put two batteries right here, which is feeding in from the set of 3 in the other room. And this is powering this airlock. And I could probably have it power that airlock as well. My thoughts were, though, have main power come out and feed into another set of batteries in there, which I have not yet printed out. Well, take that back. I've got one printed out. So this room has been completely, well, completed. Well, I mean, it's a vacuum. It's airtight. It'll be fine. Do I have enough seeds? Not sure. I was able to put a medium transformer to feed in from those batteries in the tool room into here, so it won't be blowing out any cables. And I think for now, 2 station batteries in here will be fine. We'll see. This particular room is probably going to be the... what is it going to be? Nope, that's going to be the garden room. This is going to... or is that going to... Anyway, there's another room over here. Let's go take a look. Yes. Nice big area that is also at a vacuum. Oh, random stairs so I could weld up the frames because of limited jetpack, and I just didn't want to yeah, I didn't want to mess around with filling up my jetpack, and I certainly did not want to be on the outside of this and not be able to get back in without a jetpack. I know I could do the shenanigans with the waste tank, but that's what I did. So that's what I did. I also printed out a bunch of stairs. I say a bunch, enough stairs, so that... Okay, I do have that labeled as water room. So this would be where I would create the water, which means I would have to first create the volatiles to make the water. And then I would need to cool everything down to then pipe the water into there to grow a bunch of stuff to feed into the apparatus to get the volatiles, which will feed into the cooling loop, which will feed into the... Anyway, yes. What was it? Oh, outside. I was going to go outside. I have yet to make this into an airlock, and more than once, I must tell you, complete disclosure, I kind of opened up this door with this door still open, and yeah, it's yeah. So let's fix that. Now, I have already named everything. I just have yet to set it up. No. I don't want to be... does it really matter? I guess not. Never mind. Inside is 0 because we don't have atmosphere yet. Let's see. Gas sensors, gas sensor. Exit is the exterior. Water room interior. Outer vent exterior. Inner vent interior. Pretty straightforward. I hope I can remember how that works. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. Why didn't you go into my suit like you should have? How rude. Right. Here we go. As that pushes me around, I printed up some more tape and put a little shelf here so I could put the tape in. So, right. I put stairs down to the ground. There's a bit of a gap, so I could probably, yeah, put another stair there, or maybe some cladding or something. But more importantly, during a storm, I can actually get up here if I had to. If I absolutely had to. That's a safety issue right there, so I'll deal with that later. I did expand some of the power generation. So, and I have rearranged the power generation. I do kind of like the aesthetic of alternating power sources, but that's just me. Though it does make it a little easier to walk in between these things. Depending on the angle of the solar track, you can't walk between, but this way you can. Right. Right. So, yes, I've expanded that. I've left plenty of room for even more expansion should it be necessary. Of course, one of the things that I have not done is put up a weather station to let me know when a storm's happened, which would probably come in rather handy since the only place that I know when there's a storm is in the little garden room, little survival room, because it actually has atmosphere, and yeah, that's an issue. But I'll probably not do a weather station because I probably need one sooner rather than later, but not going to do it. So there. Right. Now, if that's going to be the garden, and this is going to be, let's call it atmospherics, right? That'll take care of the cooling, the water making, and the furnaces. Yes, the furnaces. Now let's see. If I put the furnaces down here, close to the water maker. Because what will happen is, when the water's being made, the combustion of the volatiles and the oxygen, it's going to give off quite a superheated mix of gas and steam. So, like I did on Europa, what I'll do is, I'll have a hot tank that will be filled with CO2. Again, it's the most... well, I guess originally I could just go with straight atmosphere, right? That would be easiest. Maybe. I'll have to think about it. But anyway, the hot tank will be filled with something, a gas. And then it'll be connected to an automated system with a valve and a heat exchanger. So whenever the output of the water maker is hotter than the hot tank, opens up the valve, heat is exchanged, heats up the hot tank, and helps to slightly cool down the exhaust coming out of the water maker, which will then feed into a cooling system, which will then help liquefy the steam into very hot water, which will then go to a separate section, which will then cool down the water to a drinkable or usable state, I should say, where it can be drunk by me and the plants. That's the plan. And then, of course, from there, it will get stored into a tank. So I'll have all that in there. The water tank, that is. The final water tank. So I may have I have not decided yet if I'm going to have a full tank or maybe just some insulated utilities out here holding the hotter water. Probably insulated utilities make more sense. Would be tidier. I've got all this room. I could even stack, yeah, maybe. Hey, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. The problem with having a huge tank rather than the anything else is going to be a certain amount of steam, or more accurately water vapor, is going to want to exist even when it's near freezing. There's still going to be a little bit of gas. So the bigger the container, the more gas is going to be needed at a given temperature and pressure. Enough of that. I need to get on the ball because I'm using up all that water now to grow all those taters, which granted does produce all that oxygen, but then I'm going to run out of water. So it's a race against how much oxygen am I going to have versus how much volatiles am I going to be able to produce versus how much water that's going to produce, and how quickly can I get it cooled down to where I can continue to grow plants and eventually cool down enough breathable atmosphere to fill all these rooms up, because, well, the plants are going to need something to grow in, not just CO2. So initially, yeah, that little room is going to have to sustain me. But if I can get started on getting the water made, I can always move in and out the portable tank for oxygen. So, yeah. Okay. So, if I have an advanced furnace here, I'll probably have to put a regular furnace here first. Because, well, you know, the whole in-var thing. But anyway, we'll get to that. So we'll move it over here. We'll have a cold tank. We'll have a hot tank. We'll have a tank with the exhaust of the water burner. So the burner. Now, I'm not having to be outside versus inside, so the pressures can be relatively mild. Instead of full frames that I would normally do, I can probably get away with just walls. And since I have a second level I can work with, maybe I put the tanks up top there, which means I can make this a little bit more tidy in the corner. Right. because eventually I'm going to have to squeeze in some actual filtration. Now, I'm going to try to leave this opened up for the purpose of more batteries, and preferably once we get the alloys and the super alloys going with the advanced furnace, the larger batteries would be nice, which means I can make it a little bit more compact anyway. But don't want to plan too far ahead. I just want to keep this area open. But that still gives me quite a bit to work with. And if I have to, I can reroute this cable, which feeds into there, up along here. So I have options. Right. Well, where do you start? Well, preferably at the beginning. Alright, well, before we can worry about the water maker, we need to make the volatiles. So, let's make the volatiles. Now, I'm gonna need some stuff. I'm gonna need a centrifuge, which I have there, and I have a recycler there, and I've got chutes there, and steel sheets to help build the centrifuge. And I've got cables to cable up the centrifuge. And okay, so let's see. Where do I want to put it? Now, these things don't exactly fit in a small space. So, right. So I need a recycler. I need a centrifuge. I need an arc furnace. So if I plan on having a water maker over here, I could... Or I could have the water maker up there. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. All right. If I start over here, let's say we harvest. Yeah, let's just lay things out. We can always move them, right? So let's lay things out so we know exactly what we're talking about. Relatively speaking. Take the steel sheets. All right. So we'll have... Say we have the arc furnace there. I should have brought the arc furnace out. That's probably a good idea. We'll work our way backwards, and then see what we got. So you come with me. Where's the... Here we are. Right, so... Right, so have power coming. Guess it really doesn't matter. So we'll just set this down. So that needs to go somewhere. If I have to, I can I could put it all up there. Or I could turn a corner. Okay. So maybe we'll put the Volatiles tank over here. Maybe on the bottom, maybe up top. Doesn't really matter. So the biomass goes in there, gets cooked, spits out the charcoal, and off gases the Volatiles. Okay, so I'll need walls. Don't have walls in here. Let's go get some walls. I could print out some steel walls, but we have all those iron walls running around. So yeah, let's use that. I wouldn't happen to have any iron sheets handy, would I? Let's go in here. Iron sheets, iron sheets. There's iron frames. Come on, red iron sheets. I know I have iron, and maybe they're in there. Ooh, active vent. Yeah, I'll need an active vent. Yeah, APC would probably be nice. Yellow want a window, so take that. Passive vent. Do I need a passive vent? Don't think so. We'll need some insulated pipe, though. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Before I get too far, was it just seeds over here? There's more than just seeds, but yeah, maybe I'll take some kit. Oh, that's only there's a full stack. Never enough room in your inventory, is there? If I don't need passive vents, why do I have those in my... Right. Right. Here. Should go over there. Do I need a sensor? Yeah, I don't think I need a sensor. I'll just be constantly pulling it out. Yeah, I'll be constantly pulling it out. We'll need a tank, though. So I'll grab that. Still don't have the iron sheets yet. Right. Check out down here. I know I've got iron sheets running around somewhere. Ah, next to the other walls. Okay. I knew I had them. Right, so if... Come on, game. I put the window here. I put the rest of it as walls. So go there, go there, go there. Right, let me put you there so I remember where you're at. I'll put you there so I remember where you're at. And let's see, I'll need to put one of these here. Now I'll need to connect the data and the power together. So we're going to run a cable down that away. That'll feed into... Come on, where's little... There we go. That'll feed into either a tank up there or down there. It doesn't really matter which. And it should be pure volatile, so there's no filtration I need to worry about. Right. Okay. So I'll need to come out with chutes. I'll need to power... Now, do I power the APC just to the... No. I want to have everything doing what it's doing. Okay. Alright, well, since we're here, let's figure this out, right? Now, we've got... What do we got here? That's a battery, that's a centrifuge. So, if we put the centrifuge down... Now, that comes straight out.
Hydration critical.
Hydration is critical. Now, need to be able to get to the controls. So, if we put that here, we should be able to get to all the controls, no problem. And then this, yeah, that can go right here. Yeah, that'll work. Plenty of room. I could even put a locker right here, so I can store all the biomass. Chuck it in there when I need to. That'll process, go into the centrifuge, and then that'll go in there. I'll have to automate that, so I'll need a housing. Yeah. I think that's gonna work. Steel sheets right there. I'll need a wrench. And then I'll need a welder. Okay, I think connect chutes there. Connect all the power together. I'll leave the steel sheets there. I should probably use small cable, shouldn't I? So if I were to go ahead and forget what I'm doing so I get too thirsty, I'll be doing what I normally do. Transformer. Yeah, I like an APC, right? We're going to be dealing with volatiles. I want all the volatiles in an appropriate network. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, here's a tank. Right. Let's go get some water, top off our food while we're at it, because we've got plenty of potatoes. Let me grab that. It's a full stack of light cable. That'll work. Okay, we're still doing decent for power, so no problem there. Alright. Just out of curiosity, how are we doing for O2? 33%. Temperature is just fine. We've got that turned off. Okay. Pressure is okay. And maybe I'll turn you on for a little bit to bump the pressure up just a wee little bit. What am I doing? I am trying to get some water. Okay. Okay, there we go. Close you up. Most of these are stacks of 20. Okay. Yep, I got enough biomass to get started. Got a decent amount of oxygen in there. Oh, my filters are getting kind of low, though. How much iron do I have? I can get one. I can get one. Let's get one. Better than none. What do I need for... No, never mind. We're about medium filters later. Right. I thought I printed up another set of filters. Did I? What are you? Yes. You're a completely good filter. You're things I don't really need, right? Oh. You're trash. Here. I have to make a trash pile, aren't I? I recycled some things. Since I had the recycler and the centrifuge, I did set those up and reclaim some of the iron and copper and such. But, yes. That will, that'll have to do. Okay. Let's, yeah, I may have enough seeds. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. I would be nice to get some variety, though. Variety would be nice. Come over here. Right, so I'll need to hook that up. Hook all that up, so might as well do that now. Over here. Now, I don't need a sensor. I'm just going to have the, that's not what I wanted. Actually, I guess that... No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to do this. Nope. Other one. I know what I'm doing. Sure I do. That's what I wanted to do. Now. Get over here. Let's see. I could run along there. I'll need to hook up data there. Right, so you can come there. Go there. Right. Nope. Other way. Yes. Right. Right. This will come over through here. I don't really need the data hooked up. This will be just manual for the moment. But I will need to... Okay. I'll come off of here into APC. Yeah, let's do it that way. Again, just try to have things nice and compact. Still plenty of room for whatever. Right. And let's go here. Okay, so I have full access to the chutes. So if I need to, I can expand the chutes. Although that should hold a fair amount of biomass in there, or reagent in there anyway. So, where are you? You are there. Right. So normally I like to have power going out throughout all the airlocks. So we'll get that cabled up just in case we need it, right? Right. Okay. APC there. That'll be all circuited up. Let's get you hooked up. And where did I put the APC? Right there in front of me. All right. Okay. All right, you're on. I'll eventually put a large battery in there. But okay, you turn on. You turn on. You're starting to move. I'll turn you off because I don't want to waste the power. You got juice. You're going to say there's nothing connected to me, which is accurate. Right. Oh, I'll also need a chip. Now, I'll put the chip out here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put the chip out here so I can easily access it. MU. Alright. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. Now, one of the advantages of working in a vacuum is I don't have to worry about evacuating the cube. I just have to worry about getting it all airtight and automated. Which I can take care of everything outside of the chip. That would be nice to have a laptop. But anyway, yeah. Right, so where did I put pipes? Where did I put pipes? Did I bring pipes out? I thought I brought pipes out. Did I not bring pipes out? Where did it? Where's the... There's no... I brought tank out. Didn't bring pipes out. Okay. Right. Let's see, I should have pipes here, right? No. No, I've got liquid pipes. Probably need that. But later. I will pick those, however, because I'll need those. I won't need that. You know, letting me know what is inside the tank is probably not a bad idea. Don't need a sensor. Don't need a volume pump at the moment. Ooh, it's a stack. It's a full stack of pipes, but you never know. Okay, anything up here that is going to be useful? No, don't need to do that. Probably don't need that, so I'll take it. And, well, I'm going to need those eventually, right? Right. Okay. Okay. Ah. Okay. Right. You go over there. So, where do I put the tank? I could put the tank there. Okay. So if I put the tank there, And I cable the tank up. Aha! Right, so do this. That leaves me this area open up to do what? To do something. So I'll have volatiles there. Gonna run a line over here. You know what I could put? You know what I could put down there? Oh, this would be hilarious. I've got that portables connector, so I could put. Yeah, I could put a portable oxygen tank there. I can fill it from there initially. I can always retrofit it out to put a proper insulated tank. Maybe. For now, I think, yeah, I think a portable tank will be sufficient. No, I can't remember. Did I bring... I didn't. Okay, anyway. I should have enough room to put the portable tank in there with a mixer, and then we can have the water burner right here. So as long as I keep this open-ish, we should be okay. I also have up there I could use. Right. Right. And then maybe put the furnace there. Okay. 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 I have options. I've got options. Don't need you. We'll need you. We'll need you. And I get... Oh. Silly. Where did I put the chutes? Just the chutes are in my inventory. Of course they are. Right. Okay, I can go ahead and get that all set up from the chip, so we won't worry about that. Okay, let me see. Window. Let's do a window there so I can actually physically see if there's something in the queue. And then from there we should be able to go with oh, you know what? What if I get too much? So, okay. Well then, I'll need a corner. Let's just come up and over and do that, right? Yeah. Timber. Right. Maybe put a window here? Yeah. And then a run out of the... Of course I did. Oh, that's alright. I got plenty more. Well, plenty, depending on your point of view. Right. Okay, so that's connected up. If I'm backed up full of the reagent, or actually this end will be biomass. That end will be reagent. Right. Well, then maybe I just ought to do a similar thing, right? Just build in, build it, need more. Okay, that's okay. So, if I do that, and I'll do the same thing. No, that's not what I wanted. Window. Window. Do a window there, do a window there. Okay. And then we go straight. Corner. Straight. And a corner and a straight. Okay. So that'll hold a fair amount. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. And that'll go in there. That'll feed. It's going to process until it gets completely full. In which case, it'll throw an error. So I can automate that to pop on open, which will then slow the centrifuge down to a stop. Once it stops, then it exits out what's going to exit out. And then once, I say once it's empty, I'll have to tell it to wait so long. Yeah, I'll have to tell it to wait so long, so I'll have to have a counter set up. Right. Right, and then it'll come into here. Once it sees that the input slot's occupied, it'll go ahead and activate, which will cook whatever's in there, off-gas the stuff, which will then get... Yeah, okay. We're gonna make it work. Right. Put you back there. I guess I can go ahead and get you walled up then, proper, like... Right, I'm going to need a window. And probably double window it up. It really doesn't need it, so I won't. That's right, I won't. Sure, we'll put that away. We will get that going. All right. Okay. Ah, I see a flaw in my plan. There's nothing to... Right, steel sheets come with me. You can come with me. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that can come with me. Keep over here because I'll probably need it eventually. You can come with me. I'll put you where you belong. Full stack. There you go. You go there. Oh, I just need to pipe that up. Right. I need you to finish hooking you up. Right. Okay. Try that again. So need a housing, need a chip. Right. That's a battery. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that yet. Ah, hook up the ticket. I knew there was something I was missing. Right. So that'll hook there. So that will come off and go somewhere. Right, so we'll figure out where that needs to go. We'll have that going there. You know what else we might do? We might extend it out a little bit, both the oxygen and the volatiles. Since don't know what either of them are going to be pressure-wise, put a couple of regulators there to have equal pressure. Put a heat exchanger there to have sync up the temperature. And then have the fuel mixer. Alternative would be I could get info from the tank as far as what the temperature and pressure of the gas is. I'd have to get an analyzer to go ahead and read the temperature and pressure from the oxygen. I probably don't need pressure, I just would need the temperature so I could do some maths to regulate what goes into the burner itself. Now, as far as the fuel line goes, I probably want that relatively short. Yeah. Can always expand it with pipe and or insulated utilities if I find the need to do so. But another thing I'm going to have to figure is the water burner is going to have to be enclosed because it's going to be putting off a bunch of heat. And if eventually I want this to be breathable, yeah, I'm just going to have to keep that as a factor in the back of my brain. So just make sure I leave enough room to do that. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Looking like the furnace is probably going to be there. Oh, we'll find out. We'll figure it out. We got plenty of room, plenty of room, plenty of room. And we'll probably still make a mistake. But that's okay. That's half the fun, right? Right, so what am I waiting on? I'm waiting on... Oh, code. Code would be good. Right. Yeah, you topped off. Oh, code. That's right. I haven't shown you the code that I did for that. Yeah. Yeah, let me do that. Oh, speaking of which, what's the temperature? 948 Kelvin, huh? If only I had some coal or charcoal, I could make some more steel. Right. Oh, well. Building materials, huh? Nope, that's not what I... Okay. Here, how about that? And I'll put you there, and... Oh, the displays that I wanted to... Alright. Right. Wait a minute. I have two things valuables. Here, put those there. Actually, put that in my inventory. Probably need it. Right, you go there. Oh, more sheets. Well, shoot. Put the glass there. No, I'll need the glass. I know what I'm doing. Put the steel sheets there. I know what I'm doing. Oh, I'll need a gas display, a couple gas displays. Because I want temperature, I'll want pressure. Right, gas displays, electronics burner, silly. Yeah, give me a couple of those. Right. Okay, how's power doing? Oh, wow. Yeah, power generation's looking good. Okay, let's go over the code that I had made for the cooling system. So I went ahead and aliased the analyzer, aliased the vent, and I put the alias of the valve in and then just commented it out. So all I need to do once I get a valve is just uncomment that out and uncomment this line out where I'm turning the valve on and off. So what I did was, for the initialization, I just went ahead and set the vent to inward, so it takes the outside atmosphere and brings it into the tank. Set the safety pressure, internal safety of 30 megapascals, and then just turn the vent on. So it's going to stay on. It's going to keep the tank topped off, and yeah, that's all I needed for that. And we just start, do a yield, let the game catch up with the game tick, load into R0 from the analyzer what the temperature is, and I decided to go ahead and save that to the DB just so I can hover the cursor over the housing and it'll let me know what it says. And then I just arbitrarily said if it's going to get above 800 Kelvin, go ahead and turn the valve on, which we don't have yet. But this number can be changed if for whatever reason I need to, but again, my goal is bring in outside atmosphere at whatever temperature Kelvin it is. It'd be, what, 464 Celsius or centigrade, depending on where you live. And then that'll heat up for a bit. And then once it reaches the peak temperature, then it'll go ahead, open up the valve. Oh, that's probably what I should have done, huh? Yeah, okay. So what I'll do is I'll tell it to sleep for, oh, let's say 3 seconds, right? That way it'll give, so when this turns on, it'll give it 3 seconds to evacuate as much of that super hot gas as it can. And then it'll come back around. And since it'll already be filling via the regulator, the temperature is going to naturally start to go down. Once that goes down, that's going to get below, and it'll turn that off, and it'll still continue to sleep and sleep and sleep, but that's fine. That's fine. Again, this is a very simple operation. I just need it to keep things cool so the rest of the cooling daisy chain can get down to where I need it. So, yeah. I should probably put that in, though. Huh. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Right. How about you give me a housing, and I need copper and solder. You are nickel. You are solder. You're going to be electrum. I'm going to need you for the... this is all the copper that I... Okay, I got 97 in there. Okay, got it. I have 50 in there. You know what? Give me the 50 that's in there. That's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Close. Turn off. Right. Oh, yeah, I also put a stacker on the auto lathe and then piped up input to the electronics printer and, yeah, all that good stuff. Right. So, give me a housing, and then I will want a circuit. And I need to go mining to get some more gold. That's all the gold I have. Right. You're slow. I'll be back. Right. Dee-la-da-da. Export. There we go. You would have printed that out and gave me one of those, which that's all you're going to be able to give me because I don't have enough gold to do anything else. Right. Put you in, you're happy. Oh, 950. 951. 950.86. Okay, close enough. Well, I guess the advantage to having it go printed, saved to the setting of the DB of the housing is you get a much more accurate number. I'd say cool, but that's actually rather hot. So, right. I don't want to go mining. Here we go. So we're gonna do that. La da da. Temperature starts to go down. I wonder, what if I go ahead? Oh, I think I know what's happening. Notice how that temperature went right back up? Okay, it's because...
Hydration critical.
No, that's not because my hydration's critical. That's a completely different reason. No, what's happening is these guys have modeled this quite well. It's calculating the cooler gas, right? 460. Oh, it's
Air tank low.
And my air tank's low. Anyway, quickly. So you got the cooler gas, outside gas in there, right? They've calculated this is the shortest path of travel. So all that hot gas over here isn't getting sucked out. So what I need to do, I need to have the code when it gets hot to not only open up the valve, I need it to turn off the regulator. Then I need it to turn the regulator back on. So with the regulator turned off, that evacuates most of that hot gas. Then I need it to turn back on to fill it up with the cooler gas. So if I have that turned off and it's checking the temperature, it's not going to turn that valve back on. So what I need it to do is I need it to say, hey, this is too hot. Turn you off, open you up. Wait a little bit, then turn you off and turn you on. Okay. Okay. I guess I better take care of my warnings sooner rather than later. Oh yeah, we got power going real good at the moment. How are we doing for temperature in here? We're still doing pretty good there. Our potatoes are growing like gangbusters. Oxygen is nice and plentiful. Nice. How are we doing in here? We're caught 3 megapascals. I probably should put a regulator there, but oh, you're turned on. How are you doing? You're still that? I haven't even had to turn you on. Right, air tank. Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea, huh? Right. Good. I guess I can go ahead and release you. Oh, that's right. Put you up there where I can see it. Right. Well, that warmed it up a little bit. Still, that's not horrible. How are you doing? You're already gone to seed? I really need to, I don't have to worry about not having enough biomass to, get started. Do need to move you, though. You're kind of in the way. Oh, you're still trying to get the seed. That's, you're still trying to get the seed. That's fine. Yeah. Here, why don't get to the point where I'm not even bothering trying to put the, oh, is that still trying to get the, alright, whatever. I got plenty of seeds. If I don't grab every single seed, I think I'll be okay. Just never hurts to have backup, right? So I think I have plenty of backup. Right. Right. Interesting. Interesting. Right. Food. It will completely decay in 12 minutes. Ah, just I open my lid, huh? Guess I was hungry. Well, how about I go ahead and cook me up another? That'll completely decay in 5 hours. So, 12 minutes to 5 hours. That's not bad. Maybe I'll do another. Oh, wrong one. Right. Get a drink of water. Okay. Close the lid. Close you. Let's get back at it. Oh, grab a large battery. Grab you, which I will need to code into you. Right. Right, what do we got going on here? I'll put you there. I got glass. I'll just set you there so I remember where you are and forget about you. Yeah, we will need that there. So, you're out completely separated on the circuit. Now, do I want to use up all the pins or do I want to start batch writing certain things? Batch writing to the vent is no big deal. Same thing with... Maybe I don't want to batch write. So I'll need you. I need the centrifuge. I'll need the furnace. I need the vent. That's 3 things. I have 6 pins. Gosh, I wonder if I have enough room for 3 things with 6 pins. Maybe. Right. Where do I want the displays? I mean, I could just put them there. Right. Right. And I put the glass down over there because I didn't think I'd forget to... But I remembered where it was. Right. Ouch. Right. Cable. Right. Parkour. Right. Right. I do that. I do that. That means I can do other things if I have the cable cutters in my hands. Right. So now, if I grab you, come on down. There we go. I will want the tank small, and we'll do temperature on the left, and we will do pressure on the right. And since there is nothing in there, it's not going to give me any information other than the fact that it's empty. And I put you back there. Now, I'm gonna need... Well, you know what I could do? No. You know what I want to do? This is what I want to do. Well, I guess I could do that. Anyway, I want to know that when it does what it does, that it does what it's supposed to do. So I'm not going to put anything in here. I am going to have to try and figure out, well, how I want to code it. So mainly put the so it can be seeds, it can be produce, it can be decayed food, whatever that is. It can go in there, get all minced up, come out as a reagent, fill up in here, go into there, start processing as it's winding up. Right. So the only time I'm going to need to worry about you is when you get all full and then you generate an error. Now, a way to empty you is to do that. Now, I can manipulate you to go open and close. Get over there. All right, so that's open, that's closed. So it generates the error, pops it open. Alternatively, if you pop it open, it generates an error. So, if I manually open it up, it's going to have to wait till it spins down, but it's automatically going to generate the error as if it had done it on its own. And so that'll go through whatever loop I have for it to spit that out. Right. Now, that's going to take a while, right? And it's going to spit out however many it's going to spit out. There's plenty of room there. Probably too much room. Whatever. It'll work. It's not going to get backed up. Right, so that's not going to get backed up. So whatever loop I have here can be relatively short, because that's going to exit out fairly quickly. So the real question is, how long is it going to take for you to spin down? Let's turn you on. Wow. That's going to take a while to get up to speed. All right, you do that. I got other things to deal with. Like for instance, I can figure out what the time is that I need to wait later. Right now, I should have put the battery in the anything. Anyway, let's edit you, clear you out. Right. So we have the vent. We have the furnace. And we have the centrifuge. Right. Right. So I can set the vent up to mode it's mode 1. Yes. Right. 0's out, 1 is in. So I want it to suck in from the cube into the pipe. Might as well set a yeah, might as well set, oh, you know what else I would need? I think I would need the tank. Now, luckily, the tank's already hooked up, so I don't have to worry about that, but I do need to alias the tank. And the reason being is, if the tank fills up to a certain point, then I need to know that, hey, the tank's full. And I need to think about shutting things down. So, okay. We will set the vent pressure internal. Typing habit. Put space in between words. Right. Let's see. I want the vent to be so okay. So if I go ahead and say that if the tank gets above, let's say 20 megapascals, hey, we have a problem. Now I know it can go all the way up to, let's say, safely 50 megapascals, but around 49, 50 megapascals, the pipes start making noise. So if I were to say, hey, let's put the internal pressure for the vent at 40 megapascals. But then I go ahead and let's just keep things together where we alias and define things. If I say max pressure is 30 megapascals, that's 10 megapascals worth of leeway. Now that should be quite a bit of volatile production. In fact, I shouldn't be able to put that much into the system. I shouldn't. I guess it depends upon how much produce there is. But if I get into the habit of every time I put whatever biomass in there, I can go around and look to see what the temperature and the pressure of the volatile tank is. If it's getting near the max, I probably should not continue to process it. Now, if the food rots and becomes rotten food, I can still process it and get what I need out of it. It just won't be edible. Well, I don't want to eat rotten food anyway. So right, got that going. Right, all right. So if we go ahead and we start, and we'll throw a yield in there because it's good practice. What do we want to do? Well, I think the first thing we want to do is check to see if there's anything in the slot. So if we say load slot for into R0 from the furnace, and that will be, probably be a good idea to know which slot is what, huh? Yes. So if we say arc, okay, we'll scroll down. Sure, we'll go to that, and then we'll go to that. So import is slot 0, export is slot 1. Okay, I don't care about that. I do care about that. Right. So, is slot 0 occupied? So, slot 0, is it occupied? Now, if it's occupied, it'll be a 1. If it's not occupied, it'll be a 0. If it's occupied, we probably want to activate the furnace. Because even if let's see, though it may not activate, well, no, if there's something in there, right, something gets in there, the door will close. That slot should technically be occupied until it's done processing it once we hit the activate button, right? So, okay. So we will then save to the furnace. Activate R0. Okay, that sounds simple enough. I'll confirm that. Well, I was. Oh, yeah. We should. That should be up to speed by now, right? So, need to know the timing. So, 100 RPM. Right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Error. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 7 Alabama, 8 Wyoming, 10 Montana. So 10, let's see, 11, 12-ish, that goes about halfway there. So I'd be what, say 20 seconds. It'll take a little bit of time for it to exit out. So if we say 30 seconds, that should be enough. We could even go for a full minute, but how about we compromise and go to 45 seconds? That should be sufficient. So then after 45 seconds, it'll say, okay, close that up. It'll automatically start processing the next thing in if there's anything to process. If nothing else, it'll get it back up to 100 RPM so that when something does come in, it's already crunching away at it. Because it does take a little bit of time to do. Downside is there's no how. If there's nothing in there to process, this is a big power hog. But I'm not hurting for power right now, so I'll turn that off since we're not processing anything at the moment. But yeah, that's going to be an issue. Yes. So 45 seconds. That'll be a good compromise between it slowing down, exiting out, and starting back up again. Okay. What we can do is actually define that as, let's call that eject 45. Right. So we've dealt with the furnace. Once it activates, it'll just continue to do its thing. Off-gassing, spitting out the charcoal, that'll be automatic. So the next thing we need to check for is there an error from the centrifuge, So we'll load into R0, since we can reuse R0 from the centrifuge. Now, error should be a type. Let me just double check, even though it came up correctly. Let's just verify. Right. Error. Read. So we can read the error. Obviously, we can't cause an error. Well, not directly. We can do it in a roundabout way. But we can open and close, read, write. Right. Well, and read, but anyway, correct. So, is there an error? Is there an error? If there's an error, we want it to do what we want it to do. We'll open it up, wait 45 seconds. If there's not an error, we'll want to jump back to the start. Start the process all over again. We also need to check the tank. Maybe we check the tank before anything else, because if we check the tank and the tank is above our max pressure, we don't want the furnace to activate, right? Okay. Okay. So maybe give us a few lines. So we know that either this is occupied, yes, occupied, no. So if it's not occupied, that'll be false. If it is occupied, it'll be true. So let's load into R1 from the tank, the pressure. So let's think this through. If we want, so we want the conditions to be true to activate the furnace. Okay, so in order to get true reading, you know, what do we, if we want to compare max pressure to what the pressure is there, if this pressure is less than the max pressure, that'll be true. So we'll have a true if it's occupied, true if we're under the pressure. Okay, so true and true is true, true and false is false, false and false is false. Right. So we will set less than into R1 is the pressure in the tank below max pressure. So we'll say R0 is R0 and R1. Okay. So if both of these are true, R0 is true, we activate, go to the next section. In fact, let me put a space there. Check centrifuge. I could retype. Check furnace. And check tank pressure. I guess I could put a space. I mean, gosh, I don't want to actually be able to read it properly, but why would I want to do that? Right, so we check the furnace. Is it occupied? We check the tank pressure. Are we below pressure? We compare everything and we activate if appropriate. Then we check the centrifuge. Is there an error? So I'm thinking that we want to branch relative to this. No, we want to branch. So if there is no error, 0, jump back to start, right? So if we say branch equal to 0, no, equal to 0, R0, go back to the start. Otherwise, continue on to the next line. Next line is going to be save to the centrifuge, open 1, open up. That will then start the process of it slowing down. And we will go ahead and sleep for eject amount of time, which is 45 seconds or 45. So yeah, anyway. So if we ever want to adjust this to maximize its efficiency, all we need to do is go up to here and change this number. Same thing if we want a lower or higher maximum pressure for the tank, we can change it up here. And we can reference this number as many times as we want. So then after that, I would say we jump back to the start, because I think that's all we need to do. So we'll check everything. If there's no error, jump to the start, jump to the start. Once there's an error, whether it generates the error on its own or we open up the lever ourselves, then it will go ahead and try to open it. Of course, if it's already open, trying to open it, it's not going to hurt anything. Oh, silly me. If we open it or it opens itself and it stays open, it's not going to close. So what we do need to do is after we sleep for that amount of time, we need to save to the centrifuge. Come on, type it right. Open 0, which will then close it. And then jump back to the start. And if for whatever reason the system's all backed up, it's going to continue to have the error, right? So no matter how many times we try to manually close it or it tries to manually close it, it's going to encounter the error again, pop open the lever. So it's not going to restart back up until physically the situation is rectified. Okay. Now, what I could do, which eventually I will do, I think, is one of those rotating lights. So if there's an error with the centrifuge, or there's an error with how much pressure's in the tank, have the light go off. Maybe have 2 different lights. One for yellow saying, hey, the centrifuge is backed up, or there's an error with the centrifuge. And maybe a red one saying, hey, your tank's full. But let's see if this works for the moment. I think that would be wise. So that's one more time. Let me go through. So we come in, we yield, check the furnace. Is the slot occupied? Are we good for the tank pressure? both are good, activate the thing. Now, even though there's no pressure in the tank, it should still say, hey, there's no pressure. It should be a 0, right? Right. So the math, the comparison should still work. Right, so that's that. And then that. We can obviously generate the error ourselves by popping open the lid. So, okay, I think we're good. I could put more comments in here, but maybe I'll do that later. Chip is there. Let's export you out. All right, turn you off. How are we doing for power? We're doing great for power. How am I doing for food and water? Since I'm here, let's go get a drink and a snack. Ah, there's a storm outside. That's why we're doing so good for power. It's fine by me. Water. Lid. Get a drink. Let's have a snack. Let's have some more snack. Right. Let's go ahead and let's grab some potatoes. Right. Right. Now let's go have some fun. Close the helmet. Now, throw away the raw, rotting food. Don't throw away the baked potatoes. See if I can remember to do that. I don't even know if cooked food can... I mean, I guess theoretically it should be able to yield biomass. Turn you on. Let's put the chip in, get it all set up. It'll show errors. Get the screwdriver. Now, let's see. We have the active vent as the vent. We have the arc furnace as the furnace, and we have the centrifuge as the centrifuge. And we have, I guess the tank as the tank. Right, we have 2 pins to spare should we need it. So it's showing 0 pressure, which obviously because it's empty, which is fine. So let's reset the code. When I turn this on, that should turn the vent on and yeah. Oh, I need to turn the furnace on. The centrifuge I'll manually turn on because it's the power hog. Yeah. Yeah, so I want to be able to turn that off. Same thing with that. Let me go finish the code. Actually, let me get this stuff processed, right? Because you are no process. It turned off when I right. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Boom. Right. So, we turn you on. You start up and you're going to slowly do that. Right. I have the chip in my pocket. So let's go. Right. I'm so worried about the furnace that I forgot to tell it to turn the furnace on. Since I don't have access to the furnace physically, that's going to be kind of important for me to have it automatically do so. Right. So, up here in the initialization, we will want it to save to the furnace. on 1. Right. So, mode 1, pressure internal, turn the furnace on. Probably should have it turn the vent on, huh? I know what I'm doing. So, alright. Set the parameters for the vent, turn the vent on, turn the furnace on. Okay, then it starts doing its shenanigans down here. We should be good this time, for reals. Honest. Perhaps. To the next thing that I forgot to do. Right. I should probably. Since I've got power to spare now, I could go ahead and put lights in the airlocks. So, okay, here we go. I turn you on. Okay, that turns on. Good. Did that turn the... I probably should have put a window on the other side, huh? Did it? Okay. I saw it. Nope, careful. See the little green button on the other side that I can't see? Except for when I jump up and down like a weirdo. Yep, it's on. So that worked. So now, you have processed 5 biomass. So, if I were to go do this... generates an error. That should already be counting. And I will just let it do its own thing. Of course, I should have started counting when I did that, so I would know that it's looping around properly, letting me know that... Or I could have put the status of the error on the DB housing so I could just look down and... Remember how I said I would probably need to add something? Right. So that should have... That didn't... Oh! I didn't touch nothing? It did it all on its own? It worked. And I forgot to pipe out the... Oh! That closed on its... Okay, so that all works. It all works. Temperature 0? No. Really? Why is there pollutant in there? Why is there pollutant in there? Because there is. Okay. Okay. This is good to know. So I need to deal with the pollutant. Well, if it's at that temperature, that's no problem. I just needed to get up to a sufficient pressure. It'll liquefy, it'll condense, and then I just need to get rid of the condensation. Right. Well, luckily, I do have access to the outside. So what I could do... Yeah. Put a condensation valve going out. Yes. Right. Can I grab the... Yes, I can. Charcoal! Yay! Right. Grab some chutes so we can get this thing shooted up properly. Okay, that should be a vacuum again. I could pop the glass and get the chute. Right. I need more than one chute. Did I have any extra? I don't have any extra down there, because why would I? Oh, I have it. And I know what I'm doing. Okay. Whoa. That actually kind of... Okay. That'll do for now. So you're going to just continue to do your thing. I need to figure that out sooner rather than later. But okay. Okay. Now eventually I am going to need to cool that down. But... what I could do... Okay, so the pollutant's going to condense, which is going to heat up the volatiles. Now, the condensation is going to go into a liquid pipe. And I will go ahead and use a purge valve and have it purge outside, because I'm not going to keep the pollutant. But having purged it, the liquid pipe's going to get cold. So I put a heat exchanger on that between the volatile circuit network. Then it should theoretically cancel itself out as far as the heating up of the volatiles goes, or come darn close. Either way, it's going to stave off me having to incorporate some sort of cooling mechanism until much later. So that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. Which means I'm going to need more insulated pipe. Oh, look. I'll need some liquid pipe. I need more insulated pipe. Right. Other room. Oh, speaking of which, how are we doing here? It's getting toasty again, isn't it? Right. So if we turn you off, open you up. 1, 2, 2. I could do that on a 5, or I guess I could do like a 10-second loop. I don't know. Also, I have to remember, the manual valves have more restriction than the digital valves, so I probably won't need much. When I open it up, that should evacuate fairly quickly. We'll figure it out. Having said that, how are we doing here? Wow. Okay. Well, that works for me. What if we were to turn you off? That means you'd start cooling down next, right? In fact, let's turn you off. How are we doing up here? Nope, turn you back on. That's still man, we got a lot of mass in there. That's one of the good things. I wanted to get more pipe. Did I put the pipe back in here? No. That's okay. I want to check the... Oh, I gotta get the tape and the things. Solar panels. Words. Hard-ish. How are we doing in here? Oh, 38.6%. So that means that I can go ahead and turn you on. I need to chip you. I may just leave you on at this point. They're still thriving. I can't believe that my silly little angle thingy-jigger works, but it works. And sometimes you just gotta keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate the situation. You would think that, oh, well, a timer is as simple as it gets. Yeah, but then you got to fine tweak it, right? This is much easier to deal with. Because what I found is you don't really need, like, oh, half the day. Well, half the day is too much light. It really is closer to like a third, possibly is as short as a quarter. Because remember, these are pumping out full UV for the plants. So you don't have to worry about what planet that you're on or what moon that you're on. It's going to be the same. I like it. What are we doing? That's okay. How are you doing? Did I tripped over cereal bars. Right. Well, let's get you topped off then. How is my tanks doing there? Let's see here at 3.81. You know what? Keep going, and I'll swap my tanks. I'm also going to let's see. And got that there. I probably don't need that. I still have yet to put the right. Let's start picking up this stuff, because guess where you going? Do I have any more potatoes over here? Did I grab them all? I think I grabbed them all. I've got more than enough seeds. I could probably throw some of the seeds in there, but no. No. I've got plenty of produce growing. Everything's going to be fine. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't want this to go completely bonkers. But there's, I mean, it would say low oxygen, right? But it's still technically breathable.
Oxygen low.
Yeah, it's not even oxygen critical yet. So, okay. Okay. So we have definitely surplus O2. We've got our volatiles in the beginning stages of harvesting. Right, I've got that. I can probably, once I get outside, I don't need to use insulated pipes. I can use this. Once I get outside, I'll need a cowl. Right, I don't have enough room in my thing. Oh, yeah, pipes done. Anyway, right, I need to get the cellar back. Too much to do. Right, get a cowl, and I need iron for a cowl, of course, and a small stack of iron. Give me that. Okay. So I have a cow. I guess I can put you there. Come here. Where'd you? Sure, I have enough. Shut up. Shut up. Right. I'm gonna need more tape than this, aren't I? Yeah. Whenever a storm comes through, they really take a beating. So, right. Now, I probably should actually pipe this through into a stacker. I may have to do that, but not right now. In fact, right now, I'll just go through that. It'll do its thing. I'm trying to remember how much it can process. I want to say 300 or 400 rings a bell. It's either 3 or 400, if I remember correctly. They haven't changed anything. Right. let's get the insulated pipe going. So if I were to So that'll be that, right? Right. So we will, yes, have a condensation valve right there. We will then have, let's just do that if we need to add a utility or something. And then there will be a purge valve. Now, purge valve. And everything above that can be uninsulated. Do I have a regulator handy? I do not. Regulator's an inside thing. I forgot the pipe. I'm a genius. Did I hit the button? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. That is a pump. I don't want a pump. Right. Grab that. I'll remember putting the battery in. I promise I will remember not to remember. Right, you're done, which means I can close you up, make you look a little tidier. Let's grab as much as this as we can. Another reason to have all that there. And right. Yeah, each panel takes about half a roll of duct tape. I would not be surprised if I run out of duct tape. Yes. Okay. It's a good thing I used those slots in my mining belt for tape. Come in handy. I still have room for expansion for both solar panels and windmills, but I think I'm okay for the moment. I probably should get that other battery set up in that other room, though. Should also put some safety railings up, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Sure, let's put you in there. And I forgot to put the... know how to play this game. Sure do. Why do I have a frame? I don't know. I was probably in a rush to do things because of lack of jetpack, which is understandable. Right, so let's go ahead and come on, get in there. I think that will be sufficient.
Jetpack low.
What? Oh. I wasn't paying attention. Hurry, 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 hurry. Alright. That's done. No problem. I can always just, yeah. Okay. Get that jetpack filled back up, shall we? Right. Get a regulator printed out. Let's see. Put you there. I should probably get some more tape printed out because I'm actually kind of running a little low. Right. Regulator. At least get one of those printed out. Oh, I'm gonna need a heat exchanger, aren't I? Yes. Nope. The other. Where it says heat, and I need steel. That's silver. That's iron. That. Okay, I have a little bit of steel in.
Hydration critical.
And hydration's critical. I have a little bit of steel in there. I guess we'll do this. How are we doing for power? Okay, we're doing great for power. Steel. Right. Give me one of those. Oh, that's right. I remember things and I forget that I remember them, and then I remember that I forgot them, and it'll be okay. Right. I need... No, I thought I grabbed it. Hello? What? Where did it... Where did it go? The other one, you silly... Right. Right. What's it say? How can I already be thirsty? Grr. You. Come with me. I'll probably need all of you out there. Yeah, and you're just a regular utility, so probably not. Okay. How are you doing? You're toasty again. Okay. should be working pretty good. Really need to get to Invar. Right. Right. So, and I haven't filled my jetpack up because why would I? That's okay. So, we come out here like so. Turn you on. We'll put you like so. We'll turn you to 0. We'll get you cabled up. And I'll just hook you up to there because why not? Cable cutters. Right. Nope, other one. Yep. Boom. Okay, and we will need a wrench. Yeah, we'll come off over here. We'll do that. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll come up like yonder, and then we will go like so. We'll add another length of liquid pipe of, come on, there. And then we should be able to do, let's see, liquid, nope, other way, yep. Boom. Okay, so we'll just turn that on, though it's gonna be a while, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a while. The only way I could see it forcing is if I were to put a volume pump in there right now, but what would be the point? Yeah, that'd be kind of silly. So, right. We'll just keep on keeping on. Okay. That's done. I guess just to be on the safe side, I could turn the purge valve on, although again, it's gonna... Oh, I've got the power to spare, right? Got the power to spare. Again, okay, we are at 0. We're good to go there. We've got that. That's what we have in there. Alright. Well, that's doing its thing. It's automated. I don't have to worry about it. Just chuck in the stuff and mince it up and it does its thing. How are we doing down here? You're on your way to 150 degrees, which will then start to condense the pollutant in the nitrous. Right, well, you know what? Okay. Let's get you guys going where you need to go, because I'm gonna have to think about very soon now, since I'm harvesting volatiles. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start thinking about getting some liquid CO2 so then I can get a proper phase change apparatus up and going and cool that water down to a level that we can actually use it. Yes. How are you doing? You're still doing fine. You got plenty of mass, so I actually don't need to open you up unless I really, really wanted to, which, if I'm going to start thinking about liquefying CO2, I need to knock access to the other room. Yes. Probably build another airlock, of course, and then just have... Oh, okay, all right, I'm getting there. Sheesh. be so melodramatic with your heavy breathing. On the plus side, though, I have a decent amount of iron. If I can get enough charcoal, I don't have to go hunt down coal to make steel. So, I mean, there are certain benefits to the situation. Having said that, though, I could probably...
Jetpack low.
Oh, you're the jetpack. I'll give you a jetpack. Here. How are you doing? Get you turned up a little bit. Go ahead and top you off. Okay, 3 megapascals, that's fine. There. Yeah. Great. Jetpack is fine now. Okay, I've released that. Shut that off. How are you doing? You're maxed out at 5. Yes, you're exactly where you need to be. So we'll switch that. I will take you off.
Oxygen low.
You say oxygen is low, but yeah, we're still doing pretty good. You can shut off because why not? Okay. You're doing your thing. I could probably open you up a wee little bit. Cool us down a little bit. Right. How are we doing for more seeds? Okay. Well, how are we doing for water? Ugh. Wish I hadn't looked at that. Okay. Right. Right. Everything's fine. Everything's just fine. Maybe I could trade her up. If I get trade up, maybe I can get some water from... Is there any water in the... No? Well now, to have come so far. To have come so far. Yes. Yes. Well, I think that'll about do it for today. Made a lot of progress. Come to the realization that I'm in trouble. Real trouble. Like, a whole lot of trouble. 10 liters. Now, granted, that's 10 liters in there. So... There's still a bit of water in there, but it's using up the water pretty good. Now, it's producing like gangbusters, but yeah. I'm in trouble. Can I make water? Can I cool water down in the quantities that I need to be able to feed the plants and myself? We'll have to find out. Well, I think that'll do it for today. How ironic. Nice to have all this food, but no water. Right. Well, until next time, like I always say, although having a challenge can be fun, don't ever let having fun be a challenge. See ya. I'm in trouble.